Hello and welcome to the John Ark Show. Today's episode is called People Are Preparing for Wealth Confiscation. Before we begin, I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel for free. You can also like, comment, and follow us. We're going to have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up, so make sure to click on that notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload a new episode. Also, we ask that you post a link to today's episode of our show on your social media to help get the word out. Now, let's get started. Financial paranoia is reaching record levels now. What is financial paranoia? Well, given recent headlines, events, and discussions out there, people with money who like to protect their wealth are getting more and more serious and proactively paranoid about protecting that wealth from confiscation or seizure. They're seeing public figures promoting crazy and predatory new laws and regulations and ideas for seizing people's wealth that would never have been tolerated just a few years ago. You would have been labeled a crazy person if you openly discussed such levels of wealth confiscation. They're hearing how the authorities are discussing crazy new asset seizure laws, and many of these cash restrictions, limitations, and seizure laws sound like something out of a dystopian nightmare, but they're openly being discussed now. What's interesting is how many proposals, rules, and projects there are out there that would put time limits on the spending and the ownership of your own digital currency. In some cases, they want to put an expiration date on your digital currency if the digital currency is ever brought to market. That means if you don't spend your money by such and such date, then it expires and you can no longer own it or spend it. Think about the consequences of that for a second. Next, there are proposals out there that will take the property you own and seize it if you engage in certain kinds of activity that somebody else disagrees with. In the Far East now, there's a country which is criminalizing thoughts of a certain kind and that other people disagree with. Remember, we didn't say criminalizing actions. We said criminalizing thoughts. And what happens if you have those thoughts? Well, then you could easily lose your job, your right to travel, your right to purchase or rent an apartment. How does having an unapproved thought lead to wealth confiscation? Very easily. Some people believe that if you have the wrong thoughts, then you are no longer trustworthy and you must be punished for those thoughts. Imagine going to a hospital emergency room in some countries with those rules, and you go there with a broken leg or pneumonia, and you're told by the hospital that because of your previous comments and thoughts, you could not receive emergency health care until everybody else in the hospital room had been treated already before you. So how are people preparing for these new possible wealth confiscation programs, and how will they seize your wealth? Well, these are programs that are just being contemplated now, and none of them have been implemented yet. But one of the things being considered is seizing your real estate or charging you more money to rent an apartment or get on a plane if you have certain beliefs. They might force your spouse to testify against you if you're suspected of thought crimes they don't approve. So what are people doing? Well, some of them are secretly converting their wealth to Bitcoin. Others are converting their wealth to gold and silver. Others have decided to lease rather than purchase homes or land or other properties so that technically it's in somebody else's name. Another increasingly common practice is to put some of their assets into the names of family or friends that they trust, and this is hopefully designed to prevent its identification and seizure. Another common new behavior is to regularly and routinely convert wealth into different assets each quarter. The more often you convert it to another form of asset, then the more difficult it will be to seize. Now, these beliefs and policies and practices may or may not come into actuality, but they're being discussed aggressively. Another growing tactic to prevent someone else's assets from being stolen or seized is to conduct a fake sale of those assets. Fake or undocumented asset sales are becoming more common. They are usually sold for cash or crypto, but more often it's just cash. Once you pretend to sell an asset and appear to no longer own it, then the cash you receive for the sale of that asset can be more easily dealt with. Even if someone pretends to sell their asset and decides to pay taxes on the proceeds from that fake sale, then it's easier for them to deal with that than to lose the entire asset to seizure. So just to be clear, we never recommend that anyone do anything illegal or unethical, but there are people out there who do engage in this sort of behavior, and there's a high probability that they will eventually be caught. So how likely is this form of wealth confiscation or seizure, how likely is it to take place? Well, we predict that the possibility of wealth confiscation will increase with the passage of time. We also suspect that given how many people are becoming more concerned and scared about these confiscatory policies, we suspect that the likelihood of them initiating these policies will also increase soon. Good luck. Thank you for watching. I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel for free. You can also comment and follow us. We're going to have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up, so make sure to click on that notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload a new episode. Thank you, and we shall talk to you soon. Bye-bye.